Good morning, dear children. Welcome to the home mentoring session of the SJ Vidya School. How are you all? I hope you all are safe and sound. Right? As COVID cases are increasing again, so please be careful. Right? Wash your hands, wear the mask while going out. Okay? So take care of your health also. Take good diet, vitamin C, vitamin E. Alright. Okay. So today we are going to start the political science, chapter 2, Federalism. Alright. We have left with the 2 chapters. So today we are going to start the chapter 2, Federalism. What is federalism in your sense? Federal. Meaning of federal. Right. It is a system in which 2 types of government are there. You have done in class 9th what is unitary form of government and what is federal form of government. Alright. So when we are talking about the unitary government, under unitary system, either there is a one level of government or the subunits are subordinate to central government, right? That means the central government can pass the orders to the state or local government. This is unitary government, right? But under federal system, the central government cannot order the state government to do something. State government has powers of its own for which it is not answerable to the central government. Alright, clear? So this is the difference between unitary government and federal government. Okay, so let's start with this chapter with introduction, right? It includes introduction, meaning of federalism, features of federalism, 2 roots, that means 2 types of federation, what makes India a federal country, how is federalism practiced in India, decentralization in India, and the last but not the least, recapitulation. Alright, so let's start with introduction. Let's take a brief look at the meaning of federalism and how it is practiced through the world, especially in India, by viewing the following animations in detail. Alright. So, sharing power between the national government and state government allows us to enjoy the benefits of diversity and unity. Agree? For example, can you imagine having 50 different types of coins, each with a different value? Imagine it. Dollar, rupees and all. Right? So what? By setting up a national policy. Right? What government does? By setting up a national policy, the system is fair to everyone and the states do not have to bear the heavy burden of regulating their currency. However, there are certain subjects that are dealt by the state government only. We will discuss it later on. Alright, clear? So, hence federalism denotes a system of government in which power is divided by constitution between national and local units of government in regions. Right? Only India is having a local government. India itself, an exception where there is a local government also. We'll discuss in decentralization, right? So in India, we have 3 types of government: central government, which is also called union government, state government, and local government, right? So federalism is a system in which 2 types of government are there. Right, this is the meaning of central government. First one is central government, which has more power, and second one is provincial government, which has less power as compared to central government. And India itself, I told you, is an exception of local government also, where we have segregate into municipalities and panchayat, right? We have municipal corporations in urban areas and panchayat in rural areas, right? Clear? So municipalities, we have municipal corporation, municipal council and nagar panchayat. And in panchayat, in rural areas, we have district panchayat, intermediate panchayat and village panchayat. Alright, clear? So federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between the central authority and various constituents of the country. Both these levels of government, the central and the state, enjoy their powers independent of each other. Right? So an orderly arrangement of different tiers of government in a nation, and power is divided between a central authority and various constituents units. Okay, clear? Meaning of federalism? For example, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, etc. are examples of federal states, and but of course are India also. Alright, so next comes the features of federalism. What are the features of federalism? Okay, so there is a dual government, supremacy of constitution, constitutional amendments, alright, independence of courts, financial autonomy, and dual objective of government. So let's take a look one by one. First is dual government. As we discussed it earlier also, we have two types of government, central government and state government. Alright, so federal consists of central and state government. Different tiers of government govern the same citizens within their own jurisdiction in matter of legislation, taxation and administration. Alright, so there are two or more than two levels of government. Okay, three tiers we have: union government, state government and local government. Alright, next is supremacy of the constitution. Federal state derives its power from constitution. Power of state and central government are mentioned in the constitution. So there is a rigid constitution. The government of India is governed by the Constitution of India, and it is considered the supreme power in the country. Supremacy means supreme power in the country. It is not an easy task to amend the constitution. Alright, so for a constitutional provision to be amended, it requires ratification by half of the state legislatures, failing which the constitution cannot be amended. Right? So we need the consent of state legislature also if we want to amend the constitution. Alright. Next comes the financial autonomy. The revenue sources of both state and center. Revenue means the income source, right? Of both the center and the state have been clearly defined, that ensures financial autonomy to both the center and the state. Right? In other words, we can say that the center and the state have different sources of income, agree, which means they are independent of each other when it comes to revenue, that is income, right? And they are mentioned in the constitution. All right. Next comes dual objective of federalism. We have two objectives. First is to safeguard and promote unity, very important. And second is to accommodate regional diversity. All right, clear? So these are the dual objectives of the federalism. First is to safeguard and promote unity, and second is to accommodate regional diversity. Next comes we'll talk about the different levels of government. So the government at different levels should agree to rules of power sharing, right? Like central, state and local self-government. Okay, clear? Hence, an ideal federal system has two aspects, namely mutual trust and agreement to live together. Because independent judiciary is the essence of federal government, right? Here courts have the power to interpret the constitution and the powers of the different level of government. In India, the highest court, Supreme Court, right? Clear? Act as umpire if a dispute arises between the different levels of government in exercise of their respective powers. So there is an independent judiciary also. Alright. So next comes, what are the two roots of federation? That means difference between the coming together federation and a holding together federation. The balance of power between the center and state differs from the federation to federation. Alright. It depends on the historical context. That means how the federation was formed. I'm telling you, independent states come together to form bigger units. Through sharing of power, pooling sovereignty, and retaining identity, they can increase their security. For example, USA, Australia, Switzerland. So, independent states came together and formed the bigger unit known as USA. Alright, these are the original 13 colonies of US. Right? New York, South Carolina, right? Maryland, New Jersey, etc. So when they come together, this method is known as coming together federation. In this federation, all states have equal power and are as strong as the federal or union government. Right? So in coming together, independent states come together on their own to form a bigger unit. All constituent states usually have equal power and the states enjoy certain amount of autonomy. Main aim of this federation is to pool their sovereignty and maintain their separate identity to increase their security. For example, USA, Australia and Switzerland. Alright. Next comes the holding together. All the princely states integrated with the Indian Union and form the federation. Next comes India. The large country divides the power between the national government and the state government. Agree? So here the central government is more powerful than the states. This method is known as holding together federation. So under this, a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent units and the national government. Under this, central government tends to be more powerful. In this type of federation, there is an absence of pooling sovereignty and maintaining identity. Right? So for example, India, Belgium, Spain. So here is the difference between the coming together and the holding together federation. Alright, so coming together examples are USA, Australia, Switzerland, and holding together are India, Belgium and Spain. Okay, so the questions in this module are, what do you mean by federalism? What are the features of federalism? Alright, what are the dual objective of federalism? Next comes the difference between coming together and holding together federation. Okay, any doubt? Alright, thank you and have a beautiful day ahead.